Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, the 29th of May. On Monday, before I get started, as always, please understand that any advice in today's session is of a general nature only, and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Okay, let's have a look at what we have coming up this week, and we'll talk about the hot topics. First of all, let me just focus on what's coming up, and let's see if we can make some sense of it, shape it up, and position ourselves to possibly take advantage of some things that are on the horizon. I think this week is really just all about the US dollar. We have on Thursday, we have the non-farm, the ADP non-farm employment change, the claims, the PMI number, and the crude oil inventories. But by far the biggest announcement this week is going to be on Friday, 10:30 p.m. our local time, and that's non-farm employment change numbers. So the actual job numbers, the employment rate, and the hourly, the average hourly earnings. Now, a couple of things that we need to specifically note this week. The US dollar has been a little bit start, stop, start, stop. The message from the Feds is that they were very hawkish. Pretty much the funds futures are almost 100% factor in an increase of rates in June. Now, all of a sudden, in the last FOMC meetings that we had, the Feds as sort of slightly, they're still hawkish, but they're not as hawkish. In other words, they're not as confident, and they want to see a little bit of proof before pulling the trigger. So kind of this non-farm payrolls that is coming up this Friday is really going to be one that's very, very critical, and most analysts believe that it's if we get the numbers, so if job numbers improve, if the hourly earnings improve and the rate drops, okay, or there or thereabouts, and we get better data than what we were expecting, it's pretty much green light. It should make the Fed hawkishness or positiveness come back into the marketplace, which would basically give it the green lights that we could see a rate increase in June, and that will also give US dollar strength, and it should recover against most currencies. Now, should we miss the mark, well, then the opposite could be true. Okay, some investors who have been holding on to these positions for a while, they could all of a sudden start to release those positions. So in other words, we get a sell-off on the US dollar, and even if it got worse, it would be people speculating that the US dollar is going to drive down, and we get more momentum in that direction. So it could have a double negative effect on that. So non-farm this week is, well, it's always a very volatile piece of news, but this one is kind of critical because it's shaping up where they could position themselves for the next rate hike. Okay, so that's from the US. That's the major bit of news. From the Euro side, we've had the Euro pull, basically there's a gap there that's been now 5 weeks. There is a saying in trading, but I guess it probably derives from a handyman's world, that we must fill every gap. Okay, so, and gaps fill. Now, it's been 5 weeks. It is quite a significant gap. We are quite a far distance off from filling that. I will show you that when we look at our charts. The monetary, I guess, stances between the US and the Europe are quite opposite to each other. So if they both got the ways that they wanted to, it would basically make the euro drop significantly, and it'll close that gap up. Now, non-farm's going to play a significant part of that. The other part of that is from the euro side. We've had the political stresses from the French elections. All of those have gone now. It's all faded away. So now we're waiting to see what's basically going to happen on the euro front. It's a light week of in terms of data from Europe this week, so there won't be too much focus on that. Okay, I believe that this particular week it's going to be pretty much any US pair is going to be the ones that are going to be under the spotlight the most. If you had to pick one, possibly the GBP USD or the Aussie, because we have retail sales towards the end of the week, and from the UK we have PMI numbers. So they're possibly the ones that could do it. As always, guys, please take note of these times. These are in my local time, which is Australian Eastern Standard Time, and make sure that we don't get caught up in a piece of news that you did not intend to be involved with. For those of you who have never seen non-farm payrolls, I urge you to log in and just watch, just see the market volatility. If any of you have like Foxtel or anything, tune into Bloomberg and just listen to it, and you'll start to get a feel for the drive and the importance that it gives the Forex markets. Okay, all right, it's time to bring on my charts, so just give me one moment while I bring them. Oh, actually, sorry, before I do that, let me give you a quick update on the trading challenge. We're halfway there. We still got trades to trigger. So far we've triggered 10 trades and we've got 10 completed trades. The trade that we had open, we closed out for target 1. Okay, I made a specific note that because of the size of the candle, when I get to the US CAD chart, I will show it to you. But because of the size of the candle, I kind of felt that I just wanted to get out of this trade. So I made a note, okay, and I closed out for just 1-to-1 target, and we picked up 250. Now, consequently, it's almost hit that second target. If any of you are still in on that trade, you're possibly there or thereabouts. So under method 1, we are at 1250, and under method 2, we're on 1250 as well. I just have not updated that, so apologies. That should be 1250. So it's actual equal standings on both methods. Okay, let's bring on the charts. Let's see what we have. Any questions, please type them in. I'll do my best to answer them for you. And let's kick off with the Aussie dollar. Okay, so I've still got this line on my dollar. Why have I got that line? Oh yes, I can see why. Okay, so real shame that we did not get any kind of a trigger like we were expecting the market to go there, and we did not get any single trigger to justify a trade. There's our fractal candle right there. No inside candle, no engulfing candle, no body engulfing, no shooting stars, nothing. So basically we've got to sit this one out. There's nothing I can do about that. Let me see if we can find something else. Give me one moment. Okay. Okay, Alan is telling me that there's a current inside candle if it stays as it is. That's true, Alan, but it's not really in the... I guess if I was going to look at this inside candle as it is, technically we would be considering this if we were in uptrend and it was pulling down and then to continue in this direction. But it's actually an inside candle. We actually want to try and trade this way, so it's not the way that I would normally trade it, so that would be a no. If the one that I was looking for was the one when the market pulled down into this area, gave us an inside candle there somewhere, and then we shot it in this direction. So there is actually absolutely nothing on the Aussie dollar. Okay, so so the plan's going to have to be, we've got no choice. We're going to wait to see what happens when it comes here. All right. I'm not willing to trade it down there, but if and when it comes down there, well then that's the point at which I will consider would be the trade that I would be definitely interested in. Now, considering this is non-farm payroll week, we could be there straight after that announcement. Okay, so keep that in mind. Right now, Aussie dollar, there is nothing happening. Let's move on. Let's have a look at the Euro USD. Okay, first things first, let's talk about that gap that I mentioned, 5 weeks old, this gap now. Basically, the market ended on a Friday there, opened on a Monday up there, and essentially this area here, which I have highlighted, is still not filled in. Now, just to give you an idea, that from where we currently are to close that gap, we have to move about 430 pips. Okay, and it's still on the back of everybody's mind. Now, I think I sent out last week, one of the charts of the day was the Euro USD. Can someone just, I think it was last week, can someone just confirm if that's correct? And the reason for that chart is, or we might have done it on Monday, I don't remember on the Monday class, but look, we've got 1, 2, 3 touches down the bottom. We've got that one there. We've got this one here. It's a little bit of an aggressive trade. Thank you, Rav. Yes, it was in the daily call. We've got 2 touches there. So it's an aggressive trade because it's only the second touch, and until it starts to pull away, it's technically not a touch because we don't know if it's going to change direction. But as I move in, there is a nice body engulfing candle right here. It's a body engulfing. So if you had traded this one, there's your entry level right there. Okay, and we would be trying to head into this direction, which favors moving back down the channel and also favors heading in towards this hot region that everybody's talking about. So if anybody's interested, if you were to get in right now, you're coming in a little bit worse off, about 12-13 pips. I might actually take this right now. Give me a second. I just want to double check what account I'm in. I've already taken it in the chart of the day, so let me just place it in right now. Measure up. If I was to take it from current levels right now, it's about 100 pip account. 100 pips. Let me just work out the maths. I'll start using my MT4 Supreme next week. I've got to organize it for this account that I'm logged into. I don't have it on this particular account, otherwise I would do it right now. So for those of you who don't know how to use it, I'm going to start using it for everything that I do, so it's an opportunity to learn it. $2.50 convert to Aussie to about $2.10. Alright, so the trade volume is going to be 0.21. Going in at market 0.21, and I will place a stop 27.50. No, hang on, not 27, it's 12.70. Bit of dyslexia there. 12.70. Okay, I'll give myself any target just for now. I'll adjust it in a moment, and here we go, live. That's it. I am in. Okay, let me just measure out just 1-to-1, and then I'll make the adjustment later. No. Okay, I've just got in at 1-to-1. I'll make an adjustment with when my MT4 Supreme is loaded to this account so that I can scale myself out of the trade as required. Any questions on that, guys? Just to confirm so everybody can see. What have I done? I have sold 0.21 Euro USD. That's going to give me a risk of around about $250. That's why I've chosen that number. Okay, it's roughly going to be about that much. My stop is at 112.70. Target is 110.76. Any questions? Please type it in. Euro USD, we are short. Okay, I'll move along. GBP USD. Okay, I just adjusted this line just before the class started, but does everybody like that pattern right there? Does anybody have any concerns about it? If you're newer to the classes and it's a little bit too much for you. If I ask a question and you don't know the answer, just give me a question mark. Just type in question mark, and then I know who you are, and I'll try and give you a little bit of extra love and care and help you along. Okay, so it's more fun for me if I get you guys to interact with me. Makes the lesson go quicker, makes it more exciting. So I'll ask again, who likes this rising wedge? A yes or a no or a question mark? Great. Alex loves it. It is a really nice shape, actually, this one. Alright, so we all know what this means. We are at the hot region. Okay, so we are on the perimeter where the magic happens. So two things can happen now. It is rising in this direction, so a valid break in this direction is a tradable trade. So that's one option that we can look for the break. The other option, of course, is to trade back up the rising wedge. So at the moment, it's currently setting up as there's an inside candle. Now this little green candle is not complete yet. We need to wait until tomorrow 7 a.m. for it to complete. It looks, as long as we don't break lower, it looks like it could be an inside candle, which will basically set up an inside candle trade for us. And depending, let me zoom in a bit so I can draw a bit clearer and everybody can see. Let's pretend if this candle finishes tomorrow over there, something like that, as an example, what I can do as the next candle opens, I can place my pending order there at the break of that, basically trade it up there, and you can see that my stop would be here. This would be my risk. You can see that I've got plenty of room to go for a 2-to-1 type scenario. Now I've just done that visually, but you can tell that there is enough room. So I really like this setup. It looks really, really good. The alternative is, come 7 a.m. tomorrow, this candle is down here. Looks a little bit like this. You'll have a little tail there, and then that's also a signal to go into this direction. So those are the two options that we have available to us. Okay, we need to wait. For those of you who desperately want to get a trade away, let me just jump down to a 4-hour chart and see if I can get one away right now. There it is. It's already on. Okay, on a 4-hour chart, it's still the same pattern. Okay, the pattern has not changed, but on a 4-hour chart, when I zoom in, there's the inside candle. Okay, and it's already broken. It's broken the top. So shall we trade it right now, guys? Yes or no? What do we think? Or do we want to trade it off a daily candle? Okay, let's go for it on a 4-hour candle. It's not going to be a trading challenge trade because my rules say that I'm only trading the daily candle. But let me take this trade. So let me see how far off entry. I'm only going to get about 9 pips worse off. It's about 50 pip stop. Let's just trade. I'm just going to risk $50 on this one. I'm just going to go 0.1. I'll adjust everything in one moment. I just want to get in. Here I go, 0.1. Okay, let me adjust everything now. Now this is I'm gonna use this as an example to show you where you're correct. Let me just move this out of the way, just in case. And I'll come and adjust it now. The correct trade here, now this is important because many of us do a mistake, make an error here. The correct entry should have been here. We all understand that where I've just drawn that little yellow line is the correct entry point. Yes or no? Do we understand? Okay, and the reason why is because we're trading an inside candle, and it's already broken. It's already broken the inside high, so we're catching this trade a little bit late. But because it's still close enough to our entry level, we're happy to take the risk. Okay, now the stop is in the correct spot. This is the stop. But now when we determine our T1 and our T2 or whatever, this distance here is the correct T1, okay? Not this one. That distance there is not the one that we should use, because we have to keep it as if we had entered at the correct area. All right, and that's very, very important. So let me rub that out. So knowing that knowledge, the correct T1 is probably about, it's where these two are equal to each other, so it's about there somewhere. I'm doing this visually. Okay, so that's T1, and if I was going to go for T2, well, actually where I've left the mark right now looks to me about T2. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? There might be a couple of people that are a little bit confused. If you are, just hang tight with me. So the point, what I'm trying to say is, my first target, I'm going to grab this line and bring it right there. There we go, and that's the correct T1. When I rub everything out, it looks like I'm taking a bigger risk to hit T1, which is in fact correct. All right, so that's why late entries, you should consider these elements, because it does affect your trade. Now, I don't mind this one, so I'm going to push it. I just wanted you to know that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to push it a little bit further out so that they equal each other. I'm happy with that level anyway. And there you go. Okay? If the trade had already pushed up to a level where I would have hypothetically reached my first target already, for me, in my trading rules, I will not take the trade then. At that point, I consider that it's already made the move that I was looking for. There's no point jumping in late anymore, even if it had come back down and was at a level where I thought it was a cheaper than had I originally taken the trade. Question being asked. Give me one moment while I read it. Okay, the question being asked is regarding, do I need to consider the moving averages for this particular trade? In this particular trade, I have not, I'm ignoring the moving averages. What I'm trading is I'm actually trading the rising wedge. You can clearly see here that I'm trading the wedge. There's a second point, points there and here. So it's this, I'm trading inside there, so I am completely ignoring the moving averages. So this trade is a pattern trade, trading price action at a hot spot. Does that make sense? And tomorrow, if I go back to my daily chart now, tomorrow, if this candle is an inside candle based on the daily chart, I will take this trade live again for the trading challenge. Okay, so keep an eye on that one. All right, we'll move along. US yen. Okay, the US yen at the moment, I feel it's a little bit stuck over here, and it's going to, I think until non-farm payroll comes along, it feels like it's stuck before it can try and push in either direction. What I've done is I'm just drawing in this line because I just want to track it, and what I'm particularly interested in is next time we move towards it, I might be interested in taking another trade there, or will that be the one that we break through and we start a push of US dollar strength? I got a question. Robert's asking a question. Why do I not enter the trade later even if it's at a better price? Okay, let me go back to make it a little, try and make it easier here. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, Robert, here we go. The correct entry was that level there. If the trade had pushed to a level where we had already reached our first target, okay, and did that, reach that level, then came back down and say I saw the trade right now here, which is lower than the entry, because it has already reached the level that I was aiming to get in my trading rules. So this is my own personal trading rules. I believe that first movement was the movement that I was trying to catch. It's already happened, so I'm not interested in this trade. There might have been a couple of other people that had that same question. Does that make sense to everybody? Did I explain that clearly? Great. Okay. So I will move on. US yen, I've just explained it. Let's have a look at the euro yen. Okay, euro yen, I've still got this line marked on my chart. The market seems to be kind of stuck in there. Let's see what happens when we get back there. Can we get another trade in this direction, or will we break it down? To be honest, I don't really know. I don't claim to want to predict it. Let's just wait and see what happens. If the trade shows up, we'll take it. But right now, as I zoom out of this chart, there's really not much. See, when I look at charts, see this area here where it's nice and zigzaggy? That's a good chart. That's a good trading chart. When you get these little tights and then this is kind of not looking, I prefer these charts than this bit here. Okay, so just take note of that so you start to get used to what better looking charts are. And this one's not a very good looking one right now. These levels I already checked. It's not even at any key Fibonacci levels or key sort of regions, so just not interested at all on this one, so I'm going to leave it. So euro yen will leave for this week. Let's have a look at the Kiwi. Okay, remember last week we marked in this line there. This is a classic breakout trade. Let me zoom in a bit better. This kind of candle is a classic breaking candle. If you're ever going to trade breakout patterns, that's the type of candle that you're looking for. It takes a lot of courage to trade this candle because many will believe, oh look, it's already moved this far up here. Is this the end? Well, look, it's still pushing forward. I don't know where the end is going to be. The theory is that about this distance is what you can expect out of that movement, so which is kind of already there. Now I've marked out a second level here, so I just wanted to highlight the breakout candle. I personally find it difficult for me psychologically. It's not my favorite trade. I do trade them, not all the time, and it's one that I'm working on. Like I personally, if there's a style that you're finding this it's too difficult for you psychologically to swallow, don't force yourself. There's plenty of other trades to look for. So that's kind of my philosophy on the breakout. But it is a very common type of pattern trading. So I'll talk about it. I show you how to do it because there are some people that do like it. Okay, so there you have it, just as an example, the breakout candle and what you would be looking for. Alright, so that's over. So let me get rid of this line now because it's no longer important to us. It kind of leaves me with this region over here. Now I think one of the call of the day charts last week was this one. And did anybody trade it? I think we Did you get stopped out on it? Yeah. We triggered down and then it went up and stopped us out. So we got stopped out. Okay. We could get another bite at it right now. This is what it's currently looking at. We need to wait for this candle to finish to see what's going to happen on this one. Okay. If someone's desperate for a trade, what does a 4-hour chart look like? No, there's nothing there on the 4-hour chart, so we don't have options. So on a daily chart tomorrow, look for Kiwi dollar to see if you have an inside candle set up. If you do, then you could end up with a trade in this direction. Okay. Someone's making a comment. Someone says that the level wasn't at the full height. It was a tricky one because when I looked at this level here, when I did the chart of the day, I was referring to this one here, and it would be a double top type trade. Okay, double tops, double bottoms can be aggressive because if they don't turn around, then technically it's not a double bottom. If this now continues to go over there, and you look at that and you go, well, then that really wasn't a double. That was not a double top. Okay, it's only a double top after it's moved away, but after it's moved away, it's too late. You can't trade it. Does that make sense? So whenever you trade a double top or a double bottom, it's always an aggressive trade because you're not 100% sure if it's going to turn around. That's why we at the very least wait for the price action because then it increases our probability. We got the price action with these two set up there. So therefore I thought, yes, that's a double top, aggressive trade. It was the best chart that I had on the day. So I pushed it out. Now when we look at it from further back, there is another level which I had seen, and now these two levels match. This one is a little bit lower. So now what do? Is it another case of a double top or not? I don't know. If you don't like double tops, then all I can say is just write in your trading plans that you don't trade them. End of story. Okay, so with this one, if this is an inside candle, I will trade it again tomorrow. Okay, that's my only requirement. It may break this high though, so it may not set up. I'm not sure. We've got to wait till tomorrow. Let's move along. That was Kiwi dollar. US CAD. Okay, US CAD. We were tracking. I was looking at this. There's the touches, and here. Now this one took a while. This is a really good example of a little bit of patience. The trade was these two candles over here. We nearly got stopped out, pushed along, and then finally it's made a really, really solid move. Now I closed out of this at the first target. I don't know why. Maybe I got nervous like everybody else, but I closed out around about there, which made T1, and T2's about there. So if you're still in, is anybody still in this trade? Rav, are you still in this trade? No, he's not. Okay, so none of us are in this trade. I believe it did. My point was that it made a really good run, and the channel was wide enough for us. It was a matter of patience. Let me see. I think I just saw something here. So I'll keep that channel on, but I just saw this. Can I just check here? Okay, I like that line. This line here, very, very good line. We've got a lot of areas where we're touching. So at this point, it's a confirmed line. Okay, so I would be interested in something in that direction, which also supports. This is the US CAD. Trivia question. If it goes up, which currency has to gain strength? The US or the CAD? Very good. 100%. It's the US. Okay, which would support good non-farm payroll. So let's see if we can trigger a trade here. Oh, shame. That, I think that peak there is higher than this one here, which means I cannot get an inside candle. I do not have the inside candle. Oh, let's see if there's something here. So right now, US CAD, nothing. Shame. I'll leave that line. I'll move along. Gold. Okay, remember last week I started to draw that top line, but I'm not sure if it's like this or like that. And to be honest, there's still no confirmation, so I still don't know where that top line goes. The bottom line is good. Let me zoom out. I don't know where this top line is going to go. Now, I've got this level marked, but we've broken it. We've just gone beyond it, so there's nothing there as well. Okay, so what we got to wait, what I want to wait for with gold is I think it might be like this. I want this to go to that level. Give me some nice price action trade. If you're an aggressive trader, that's your first opportunity. If you're not, then you've got to wait for it to come back down here and trade it in that direction. Okay, so those are the two things that you need to notice. All right. Okay, let's final one for the week. Oil. Let's have a look at oil. Oh, I drew that channel, but 1, 2, 3. We will. Oh, give me a sec. I saw this is an engulfing candle, but it's going the wrong direction. Like we would be wanting to go in this direction, but the engulfing is in green, which is going in, which would imply a break in that direction. So this one here, there's an ABCD pattern in this one, Rav. Is that what you're saying? Did it play out? Let me just check. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Oh, yes. Did we trade this in last Monday? Or it wasn't quite ready? We did trade. No, we didn't trade it. Okay. Okay, so this level here was, if you go, that's an A, a B, C. So the way that these works, and that's a D. It's a Fibonacci pattern, ABCD pattern, and consequently, look, it's shot off really well. Price action unfortunately did not support anything there. Your first entry would be here. These two candles would be giving you an engulfing situation, but that's not what I wanted to trade, so it's unfortunate. So unless with ABCD patterns, it's based on levels, not based on the shape of the candles. So this one here, unless you trade it off the level, then basically you did not catch this trade. Okay, currently as it sits, the channel looks good, but I need to get to the edge and then see if I can find some price action activity to justify a trade back across the channel. Okay, alright, so there you have it. Let me just summarize what we've done. Any questions that you have, type them in and I will address them for you. Aussie dollar, not looking really good right now, so we're just leaving it alone. Euro USD, we we shorted Euro USD. Euro USD, here we go. Stop at 112.70, target at 110.76. That's my one-to-one target, so anybody chasing a bigger target, just make an adjustment from that. And I entered at 11.70. Okay, so you can see it's fluctuating there. We're up 1 pip, so we're just in at the spread pretty much right now. And the reason for that trade is it was a channel, okay, It already had triggered 3 days ago, but it hasn't moved to the target. So this is a case where I'm late. I'm getting it pretty much at this a little bit worse off than what I was gonna get it at, but the trade has not moved in the direction that I'm trading. So that's why I'm happy to take it. Moving along, GBP USD based off a 4-hour chart. I've taken an inside candle on a rising wedge. There's the wedge. Now I might get a setup on a daily chart tomorrow. There it is. That's what it looks like. But right now I've traded the 4-hour just to try and take advantage because we had a really good setup. Okay, so there you have it. And what are my levels here? My GBP, I got in at 128.30. Stop at 127.72, target at 128.87. Okay, so there you go. I didn't take a full trade on that one. I just taken a $50. I've probably taken about a $65 risk on it now that I think about it. Okay. US yen is a nothing chart this week. Euro yen likewise. Kiwi dollar, I could get an inside candle tomorrow, so keep an eye on that one and see if you get a trigger. US CAD, we don't have anything, very, very close. Gold, let's wait and lock in that top line before we can start to trade off it. Oil, we've already moved away from that ABCD, so let's just keep an eye on that channel. Any questions? Let me just read a couple of things, a couple of comments. One moment. Okay, someone's saying, can I have a look at the Kiwi yen? Give me a moment, let me find it. Kiwi yen. Someone's making a comment, looks like an inside candle could form at the top of a falling channel. Oh, where's this channel? I can't see this channel. I believe, are you using that point there to, I can't see the channel. There's no channel on this one. Unless this is it. It does not look very much like a channel though. It's an awkward looking one. Who likes the shape of this channel? Let me adjust it, try and make it a bit prettier. What do we think? Let's get a, can I just get an opinion on what we think about this, guys? What do we think about this channel? So somebody's telling me that that's touch 1, this is touch 2, that's touch 1 up there, this is touch 2, this would be touch 3, I guess. Let's just make an opinion on the channel. Would you consider that a channel? Does it look like a normal trading channel to us? It's a really tricky one. I guess by definition you could say it is. It just looks really, really awkward. Like my eye would not have seen, like, until, because someone told me there's a channel, I started to really, really look for it, but otherwise my eye would just not see that one. Okay, so based off that, if I zoom in here, well, I don't have really anything anyway. There's no price action there, so I don't even have to make a decision. There's no trade. Okay, but probably that channel, I wouldn't have seen it normally. Okay. Anybody want me to have a look at anything before we wrap up for today? One second, just let me read. Euro Aussie. I've been tracking the Euro Aussie one and it's just not forming, not yet. Euro Aussie on a daily. We got like a top there, so this would be like a double top. There's nothing else there, so again this is one of those trades that becomes a little bit more on the aggressive side. So we would be looking over here for any indication to give us a sell. Let's zoom in, and when I zoom in, I've been looking every day but there's nothing, you know, that we don't right now. Even these two candles today, this could give me a high, an inside candle, so maybe tomorrow. It's the Euro AUD, it's one that I'm not really that interested in, so but either way I still don't have a setup for that one as yet. Okay, there you go. Has anybody taken any really good T chasers just in the last month? When you anything on the euro on a T chaser, see when you have runs like this, I'm pretty sure that if T chaser here would have given a couple of really good trades. Let me just change my profile, give me 1 second. See this same Euro Aussie picked up the trade over here. That's an entry right there, and from there to where we are right now, that's 750 pips. So that's right guys, that's 750 pips if you picked it up right there. Okay, your original stop is here, move to there, move to there, move to there, move to here. Okay, so that's where your stop is right now, and if it continues to push on, this will continue to follow it up. Alright, so that's the Euro Aussie. Alan picked up one on the Euro USD. Yes, well done. You never. That's the thing with trend. You never know when the trend's about to hit and run away. So when you land one, you got to hang tight because that's where you make up your run. Okay. All right. If there's no more questions, we will wrap up for today. As always, guys, just email us if you have any questions. Email us at the education inbox. Watch the daily call. I try really. I do. Sometimes it takes me like 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes me like about 30 minutes to find you a chart. So I scan a lot of charts. I do it more visually. I don't have any software that does it. So it's just me and my eye looking for it, and I try and find what's the most highest probability. If I feel there's nothing really worth looking at on the day, then I'll find something interesting to look at. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying it. If you have any questions, email us. Have a great week. I'll speak to you next Monday, or of course on the daily call if you watch it. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Oh, one quick question. Miles is asking, when are we going to have a strategy class? I'm just a little bit busy right at this particular point with a couple of big projects, so I'll try and do something next week. But if you speak to your account manager, get access to the portal, and we can get you into the education portal and give you access to the material. So you can look at it. If you do have any questions on it, you can email me. I will respond. Okay? Have a great week, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.